because it's not intended to be that, right? And we need to drive that instruction. So now that we've had the talk, now what is the most efficient way for the brain to learn? Let's address that. The first component of efficient learning, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is curiosity. So we're born with an innate curiosity, right? We're curious from birth. We need that to grow and survive and go on, right? We stick our fingers in front of our eyes because we're curious. When we're done being curious, we stop. We stick our toes in our mouth because we're curious. Probably not as adults, but as babies because we're curious, right? When we're done, we stop. We roll over because we're curious. We walk because we're curious. We crawl, all those things. People will identify fear of missing out. It's misidentified. It's not fear of missing out. It's curiosity. Tell all your students they can look in a box except for Joey. Joey, you can't look in the box. He doesn't feel like he's missing out. He's curious what's in that box. Knowing all that, we have to understand the power of dopamine. So, how many of you know what this is? This is, I forgot what it's called. Like it's a surprise ball. Yeah, the yellow surprise ball, right. So many, Disney has them, Star Wars has them now. These are dopamine getters. My daughter loves these. And I tell her that's a dopamine getter, and she goes, I know. I'd rather buy her the actual toy rather than her like getting a bunch of junk that she's never going to play with. But this is amazing for dopamine. So dopamine sometimes is misunderstood. And again, it's one of those things where it's not wrong, it's just sometimes inaccurate. Dopamine isn't necessarily a feel-good hormone. It's latched in with the feel-good hormones. It could make you feel good, but dopamine also gets, you also get dopamine when you're mad, angry, sad, etc. So it's not always a feel-good hormone. But dopamine is definitely there for anticipation. So vacation is coming up, shot of dopamine. Holidays coming up, shot of dopamine. You guys saw this session on your agenda, shot of dopamine, hopefully. The thing to understand about dopamine though, dopamine is fleeting. It will come and go really quickly. It's also very addicting. That's why we need to understand curiosity will come and go really quickly. Curiosity will get the fire started. It's my job to keep you interested. Curiosity will get our students' attention. It's our jobs to keep them interested. So, true story, when my daughter and I went to Target to look for that, I found this one before I found this one. So I'm like, Sophia, what do you think? And she goes, great, I found one too. Now I'm stuck though. Because she knows she's getting this after the session. Because I said, I'm going to use it for the session. She's like, can I have it after? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, dopamine. But I already showed her this. How do I put this back? Because she brought that. So I'm giving her this one today. Saving that one for another time. But dopamine is amazing. We can use that because knowing that, we will create lessons to get our students going, ooh, excited. I'll show you how to do that. So the thing that will make the biggest impact on student success right away, curiosity. We've got to get our students curious. That will create dopamine. Dopamine's addicting. Here's the thing. If you're the teacher that always gets your students curious or interested, their brain is going to be addicted to that. And remember I talked about action, prediction, reaction? When they think of you, they're going to get excited to be in your class. Let's say they're in second period, which they do not like at all, but they like your class. Then they go, oh my gosh, third period, Mrs. Johnson, yay! Their brains will start to do that every single day. Now that doesn't mean every single day you have to put on a performance and spark curiosity. We know we're English teachers. Some days you just have to write the essay. We know that sometimes you just have to do the district test. We know that. But if the majority of our lessons spark curiosity, keep our students interested, their brain is going to wire to identify you as their favorite teacher or one of their favorite teachers. So curiosity leads to interest. Interest leads to motivation. Motivation leads to intrinsic learning. If our students get motivated, they'll teach themselves. That's what we want. That's why I'm standing here as an introvert sharing neuroscience, is because intrinsic learning. I love